I want to talk about mental health. It's something that I get asked quite a lot. A lot of guys are obviously suffering with a lot of issues. And I just want to first off start by saying that you're not alone. Millions of men around the world are going through tough times. And I'm not saying that to discount what you're going through. Not in any way. But I think a lot of us often feel that I'm the only one that's going through this. It may seem that all of your friends are doing just fine, and for some reason you are suffering. And it can often lead to thoughts of, well, this is unfair. Why do I have to feel this way? Why can't I be like my friends? But a lot of the times, those that you think are doing great are suffering as well. They just may be better at disguising it. And I want to say this. It doesn't make you any less of a man to speak up about the things that are causing you a lot of suffering. It doesn't make you any less of a man to speak up and say, hey, I'm struggling, man. I'm going through this. For some reason, there's still many men out there that feel that if you open up, then you're a beta male or you're weak, and I just completely disagree with that. You don't need to suffer in silence. And the reason why I encourage you guys to reach out to somebody is because what you will realize is that person is also going through something similar, or maybe has gone through something similar. And so they can sympathize with your pain. And sometimes, even if they haven't gone through something similar, it's just good to talk to somebody and to know that someone is there to listen. Who do I reach out to, you may ask? A brother, an uncle, father, your boxing coach, a strong masculine role model that you look up to. Just be like, hey man, listen, I'm going through a tough time and I need someone to talk to. Most people, if they're decent human beings, will be like, yeah, of course, man. What's up, brother? And I feel that most men, after opening up the first time, feel dramatically better afterwards. Now, if what you're complaining about, and I say complaining, but if what you're talking about is something very trivial, and you're talking about it consistently with people, because I want to distinguish very carefully between someone who's just whinging about small things and someone who's genuinely going through a tough time. I think we need some perspective. If you're complaining about the traffic and your boss was mean to you, that's a smaller issue. Now, I know problems can compound, right? I know problems can add up. But I want you to make sure that you're not, how can I word this? You're not allowing the small day-to-day struggles of life make you convince yourself that you're depressed. Because happiness is a fleeting emotion. I talk about this all the time. Happiness is a visitor. It comes and goes. You'll have days where you feel great, man. Everything is just making sense. Everything's clicking. You feel great about where your life is heading. Your social life is great. Your career is going to plan. And then there are moments where you're like, man, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do next month. I don't have enough money to cover the bills. So you go through different phases. Happiness isn't always going to be there. But even when you're going through tough times, it's important to gain perspective. That's why I journal. Because sometimes your biggest enemy is you. Your life may be going pretty well, But you are allowing yourself to feel miserable by convincing yourself that everything's awful. Journaling puts your current problems into perspective. And oftentimes it makes you realize that the problem that you feel you have isn't that big. And it's very easily resolved. There are people, and this is why mental health is a bit of a touchy subject. There are people that I believe are truly going through trauma and grief. And this is why I don't like the mindset of, oh yeah, mental health, it's not real, or depression's not real. I don't like that, because I believe that there are people that have genuinely gone through horrible, traumatic events. Now, how to overcome that is a different subject altogether. But you can't say that some people aren't depressed, because I believe that some people are, and they have a lot of reason to feel down. Now, staying down is a different thing. Staying down is a completely different thing. That's why I believe in seeking solutions. Seeking help. Some people need professional help. But for the majority of men today, I feel that if they just reach out to a friend, a coach, someone that they respect, it will help them dramatically. You don't need to bottle it in. You don't. Speak up. Because one day you may be that voice of reassurance to somebody else. You can say, hey man, I was also down and I felt like things weren't going great, but then I spoke to somebody. Okay? There's no one specific answer, one specific approach. However, I just wanted to make this video to encourage you guys to reach out. I've had friends reach out to me before expressing how they're depressed about the way their life is going, and I don't ever see it as a problem when they reach out. I'm happy to be that shoulder to lean on. Absolutely. Because I've been through tough times. Now, I'm not a fan of being a victim, because there are people that embrace the victim role and whinge about things like, oh, well, I don't have a job and this, and they carry on whinging. That's a problem. But if you've gone through a catastrophic event, a lot of trauma, speak up about it. Don't bottle it in. You need people to help you navigate your way through the grief and get to the other side. Because in the same way that happiness is a visitor, tough times, this state of depression is also temporary. You're down now, but you won't be down. You won't remain down. You'll get back up and you'll keep moving. As a wise man once said, tough times never last. Tough people do. You're going to get back up and you're going to keep moving, because tomorrow is going to be great. This is why it's important to have good people around you, because they'll remind you of that. Hey man, get it together. Tomorrow's going to be a great day. The future is bright. Sometimes you don't recognize the true value that you have, but other people recognize it. And it's important to have someone say, you know what, man, you're incredible, brother. You've got so many great characteristics, man, and you need to be reminded of that sometimes. If you feel like you don't have friends that you can reach out to, I would still encourage you to reach out to a family member. And it's important to develop a group of friends. It doesn't have to be 20 or 30 people, no. But it's important to know that you have 2 or 3 people that you can reach out to when you need to. If you don't have that, you need to make sure you curate that environment. You need to have good friends around you. Don't feel like a victim and all, but no, I'll never have good. you will. It takes initiative to make sure that you surround yourself with good people, but you can do that. All right, gentlemen, I hope this video provides you with some reassurance. If there's something that's bothering you, speak to somebody. Don't bottle it in. It doesn't make you weak. If anything, it shows your maturity. It shows your willingness to want to overcome this issue that you're going through. And I commend you for that. I've done it. I've had moments where I felt awful. But I reached out. I didn't feel ashamed for doing it. You're not a burden because you speak to somebody. Not at all. I'd rather speak to you on the phone or in person than speak about you at your funeral. Stay with us. Tomorrow will be better. I'm here for you guys. Thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give this video a like. Comment down below if you have something that you want to share as well. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. I'll see you in the next one.